My thought, though, is that it probably is inevitable that the G7 fails us. And what do I mean by that? I mean, fails us Earthlings, fails the citizens, fails the future, fails the future ones. Because for them not to fail us, the bar is now set pretty high. It's set as high as not crashing our civilization and not producing mass death. Now, you might think, well, that doesn't sound like a very high bar to set. But my thought is, well, in reality, it is pretty high, because not crashing our civilization and not producing mass death now requires very rapid and very systematic system change. So my answer to the question I've posed is yes, it is pretty much inevitable that the G7 fails us, so long as they try to keep the wheels on our current civilizational model, so long as they don't accept the need for profound, rapid change of the very basis of our civilization. For, as in the little book I put out a couple of years ago with the cheery title, "This Civilization is Finished," this civilization is finished. What I mean by that is not that we're bound to collapse and have multiple megadeaths, but that the only way we now get to avoid that is by transforming our civilization so rapidly and radically that in no meaningful sense will it continue to be the same civilization.
Like, honestly, goddamn, what are you gonna do with all these people? Where are all these people gonna go? Where are these people gonna go when shit hits the fan? Where are they gonna live? How are we gonna take care of everybody? How are we gonna feed them? Where are they gonna sleep? How does this end well? I'm serious, we're waiting way too late. Like, I think I'm just gonna go off into the woods and live alone, try to live off the land. It's not gonna happen. For real. Alright, my dudes, it's about 9 p.m. I've waited all day for this. Take a listen. Between 1850 and 2019, we've emitted 2,400 billion tons of CO2 emissions. So that's a lot.
And every 1,000 billion tons is assessed as likely causing around half a degree of extra warming. So as this table shows, we have an 83% chance of limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius above 1850 to 1900 levels. Then we've only got 300 billion tons of CO2 left to play with. That's less than 8 years worth at today's emission rates.
I was feeling heroic the other day that I wouldn't go out like a loser. I was feeling courageous and morally, on the high ground, but that was just my instinctual survival ego, survival personality kicking in. Guys, I know what I've been saying. I know what I'm preaching, that it's over. We have like less than 8 years worth of emissions left to burn. And what, you're going to teach the whole society to start growing and fundamentally reshape the entire way everyone thinks about materialism and buying new cars and having babies. It's an impossible, stupid dream of going, even if we could, even if we converted, it would take the rest of our CO2 emissions just to convert everything over to green, and we're not to green energy, and we're not even talking about the military around the world. And Modi just unveiled a $1.123 trillion infrastructure package. So it's like, dude, it's hopeless. We're going straight to hell. And Paul Beckwood said all the charts are down. I just wanted one last gasp, one last try, just one last push. That maybe we could. Maybe if there was millions of us protesting in the 60s or 70s, like when Earth Day started, but we sustained that movement, we would have stood a fighting chance. But
In the years leading up to that first Earth Day, many Americans became concerned about what they saw as unchecked air and water pollution and the destruction of forests and other ecosystems.
It had been a small and it seemed a thoroughly peaceful, non-disruptive demonstration. Students finishing Earth Day with what they called a die-in at Boston's Logan Airport. Coffins to symbolize the problems of airport and air.
The two streets that were blocked off provided islands of quiet. The quality of the air improved, but you didn't have to go far to find Manhattan as it really is.
That it's terribly important for us to begin to involve ourselves in politics so that we can turn the system around. If we got together to dump Nixon, we might end up with nothing, but I think that may be worth a try. Obviously, this administration is being utterly hypocritical in...
The response today must be global, says Earth Day 2010 Chair Dennis Hayes.
And we really now need to move to a new style of governance that relates to planetary affairs.
I just had this glimmer of hope and was like, maybe I could turn the ship, or maybe we could turn the ship around, but might as well just get a cat and be like a fucking cat guy and just have hobbies and read and watch movies and just spread a little joy. It's too late. It's too late. So, you know, I wasn't a fool the other day. That's really how I felt. That if this were the 60s or 70s, I would be out there in full form protesting. Or if I was in Congress. Because I've spent the past 6 years peeking into what 2030 and 2040 looks like. You know, I looked at all the data and I said, okay, let me paint what 2030, 2040, my future looks like by the time I'm whatever, older. And I was like, I didn't like that world that I saw. I really didn't like it. And you'd be like an ostrich with your head in the sand not to feel that way. If any of y'all want to like start moving in the direction of communal living and like people who trust and work for the work of all and communicate and like to meditate and like just enjoy the outdoors, we should all pitch in or something, if any of y'all, because this is our last time to hang out. This is our last dance. It's a shame. I'd fight for anything. I'd fight for the planet. But I'm afraid with the amount of time we have left, and not to mention the military, the battle is lost already. Okay, I just wanted to come clean. It's been a long day. Let me know what you guys want to see in the comments. I could put music videos or just driving around town. Or you want to see what my day looks like? What do you want? What do you want? Okay, I'll talk to you soon.